Hello everyone, this is Blue Knight 23, and in this video I'm going to be talking about why I love young Xiao Long and all my reasons why I love her. And I'm going also this is a character study as well, so I'm going to be breaking her down and talking about the many different layers of her character, like all her different relationships. With, for example, Rwby, her half sister, Raven, her mother, and Blake, her girlfriend slash teammate, just to name a few. In each the section of the video, I have different amounts of footage to show you the type of person Yang is, and it will show the reasons why I love her and why I relate to her so. And in the first section of my video, I'm talking about her characterization and her development, how she developed over the past 3 volumes at the beginning of the series. And also I'm going to be showing footage from her yellow trailer, because that's when we were all first introduced to Yang, and just seeing the type of person she was in her trailer, and also showing you about her and learning more about her, who she was, what her goals was, and everything else that goes with her. So as I continue in this video, you're going to see the reasons why I love her and why I relate to her so much. In the first section of the video, I'm going to be talking about, as I already said, her early characterization and how she developed in the first 3 volumes. Okay, but first I'm going to show you in her yellow trailer you're going to see. And as you're watching the footage, you can see the type of person Yang is. And also, I don't have volume for it. I just turned it off for copyright, but other than that, it's showing you how she is in a fight, what her resemblance is, how powerful she actually is on her team. Okay, and as you go on this section, you'll also see the many different layers of her character, because I took a snippet from volume 2, and around that scene with Professor Blick, when he had Team Rwby on his mission, and they were scouting out the. Hello everyone, my name is Blue Knight 23, and in this podcast, I will be telling you about why I love Yang Xiao Long from the Rwby series. I'm going to be talking about all the reasons why I relate to her and why I love her so much. And I'm also going to be saying my thoughts on her as well. So the first topic I wanted to talk about with Yang Xiao Long is that when I first saw her in the yellow, actually, now that I think about it, I didn't see her in the yellow trailer, because at that point I just thought I never watched Rwby before. By the time I started watching Rwby, it was last year during summertime when I discovered the series. I had a few of my friends recommend a show called Rwby to me, and I was like, I didn't know a little bit about it, but I wasn't fully sure. I only saw like snippets on the internet talking about the show, a few YouTubers talking about the show, but I didn't really know what it was until I decided to watch some myself. And as I was watching the series, like I was getting introduced to all of the characters. As I kept getting introduced to each of the characters, my favorite became Yang Xiao Long. Mostly, the main thing that drew my attention to her was not only like her fighting style and her semblance, but also like her characteristics, because she really seemed like she's more like she's really out there. She's an extrovert, like she's really cheerful, optimistic, and I felt like she was the mother of Team Rwby, in my opinion, or like the older big sister, you could say. Good, based on how she always like talked with Rwby, how she hung out with her younger sister, how she would always like help her out with so many things, and also how she dealt with lice at times, and also how she dealt with Blake. She would meet each of them, and they would all like have their discussions and like get to know each other over the course of volume 1, 2, and 3. And then as the went on, like I really started to see the reasons get why I was starting to really love Yang and how she became my favorite character in the Rwby series. The first thing, as I already mentioned, I felt she was more like an older big sister to the rest of her team, and it really did make sense because how she always looked out for her teammates and how she always cared for their well being and just seeing that they were all right, especially when it came to Rwby. Like she always would like check up on her, see how she was doing, and always kind of joke around, mess with her some, just playfully, just like seeing how she was dealing with like coming to Beacon and everything, especially since Rwby at that point she just transferred over from Professor Osborne since he recommended like to the school that she would be a really good candidate, and that really helped her. Pretty much, it helped Rwby out, you could say. And Yang, like she was just so happy that Rwby was able to come to Beacon early, especially not only because she has her half sister with her, but also like she could help her out, show her the ropes, and actually help her like pretty much you could say not jump ahead a little, you could say, to like becoming a full-on huntress. Because since that's what they were going to Beacon for, and once they graduated, they would become full huntresses. Because that also, to me, that first whole segment there, that really showed a lot to Yang's character, like how much he loved Rwby, how much he like always wanted to help her no matter what, and always like be there for her younger sister. Because that even if they disagree on things or they fight or bicker or they have different ways they want to go about doing things, which is natural because all siblings, like no matter what, they may fight and argue, but they always love each other and they always deal with many different problems, or they feel they have different goals and motivations, and that also shows that just because you and your sibling go to the same school, you guys like some of the same stuff, that doesn't mean you're always gonna agree on everything. And that's why I really love Yang's relationship with Rwby, because just how good like she treats her sister. Like yes, they have problems or they may argue or bicker with each other, or they have different ways of going about things. But like at the end of the day, like they'll always be there for each other, no matter what, and they always love each other. So that's why I really love Yang and Ruby's relationship, and it really shows how Yang, like how she's a really good big older sister. Sure, she may not always make the best calls when it comes to Ruby. Like one of the examples I wanted to say was in volume 9 and episode 8, if I'm not wrong. But basically, what happened, like in the scene, I'm gonna tell you, it was the part where after John lost paper people, or basically when they committed suicide, you could say, or they like let themselves die. And in that moment, like John, he was really hurt and broken down because everything he tried to protect was just gone, and that was just another another time for him, basically, where he just like told himself he was tired of just losing everything. And then that whole like segment to Ruby, she was really dealing with a lot, and not only the carrying the burden of like the whole world on her shoulders, and also because just seeing how everyone was so focused on John's mental health and his well being instead of hers. There were times in the volume where Yang, when she actually tried to talk to Ruby, or actually tried to help her and see what was wrong, but a lot of the time she kept being interrupted by Blake, you could say, or Blake would say Ruby's she wasn't saying that Ruby's feelings or emotions didn't matter, but she was just saying we had other like more important things to worry about. And that also really didn't help things in the whole situation. That only escalated things as well. And basically when it showed that Yang, when she protected Blake against Rwby, when Rwby was going off on everybody, when she was telling them like all her frustration and all her anger and all her emotional and mental pain she was dealing with at the time, and how Yang, instead of trying to comfort Ruby and see what was wrong, she just defended like her girlfriend instead of trying to see like what was going on with her sister. And that was a really bad example of Yang being an older sister, because yes, she meant that basically what to me that showed that she still really loved her sister, but she just made the wrong mistake at the time. Like she should have comforted her instead of just trying to like shut her down or not really pay what she try to defend like her the other person instead of trying to see what was going on in the system. As I as I was saying that, but that's also that was from Yang's point of view because that's how she felt. That's why in Volume 5 when she finally confronted Wave, that really showed like her anger and frustration at her. That's why she was going off on him, because she was so upset because you spent all that time looking for her and she never like showed herself, and or she never tried to meet with you, even though it was possible that she could have. But yeah, that was just tough for Yang because she just went so many years wondering about that, and that really hurt her on so many levels. Now, now as I switch to Raven, I was gonna say yes, Raven, she has done some pretty bad things, but like one of the best things she has done, like she always has loved Yang no matter what. Like she's always been watching over her in her Raven form. But Yang, like she never knew that. Like her mother was always there with her, but she didn't know she was there. So even though Yang said Raven abandoned her, but that wasn't entirely true. Like Raven, she was always watching over her daughter, but she just never knew that. That she was always there, like guiding her at times, but she didn't even know she was. And Waving, that really hurt her when she left like Yang and her husband Tai, because she loved the both of them so much, but she just felt that there's something she had to do, not only to keep her daughter safe, but also try to take out Salem and her dark forces, because she knew more things about Salem than a lot of other characters did, since she was a part of Osmond's like inner circle. And that really showed how she saw what type of creatures and monsters Salem could actually make, and not only what she could make, but also what she can do. Especially since that Salem had immortality and she cannot be killed. So not only is Professor Oz been like training Yang and the other huntresses and everyone at Beacon basically to fight against Salem, who is unkillable. It's like you don't want your daughter to be a part of that, so you do everything you can to keep her safe and like try to like that, like that whole scene in Volume 5, like when, she, well, when Yang, Weiss, and Waven are talking, like she was basically telling Yang she shouldn't just believe everything she hears and just go along with everything someone tells you and never question it. And that was a really good lesson that she was trying to teach Yang, because she was telling her she shouldn't just take everything at face value. Like you should question things. You should try to wonder, is everything this person told me actually true or not? And that's something that was a really good lesson Waven actually taught Yang, especially how she used that lesson later on in the later volumes to actually help her like gain more information, learn how to deal with people, and also learn how to not take everything at face value. Like there's always something deeper a lot of the times that you may not have known about. So I just really love that scene because it really showed how much how yes, like the flaws with both of their characters, but also they have so many moments where they're just so similar to each other, or so many moments where they can relate to each other, because yes, not only are they mother and daughter, but they have quite a few character traits that are pretty similar. Like both of them can be pretty hard headed at times, or they can be stubborn, and both of them are really strong and awesome fighters. That both of them are really able to hit back out with their enemies with everything they have, and they can take a lot of hits but still get back up. So it's like, so people may say they hate Raven, but a lot of times she's misunderstood, or people don't fully grasp all the things she had to do, like not only to protect her daughter, but like save everyone she could. So I just really love the dynamic between Yang and Raven, her mother, because like at the end of the day, she does love her mother like so much. And Raven, she loves Yang with everything she has. Especially at that last scene at the end of Volume 5, when Yang was about to get the relic, when Raven, she started crying, and she told Yang that she was sorry. She didn't just mean sorry for just fighting against her earlier in the episode, but she was also saying she was sorry for everything like she put her through in her whole life. And that scene was really beautiful to me because it really showed how much she genuinely loves her daughter. And she apologized for everything she did to her. And Yang, she even just said with tears in her eyes that she knows. So it shows she did forgive her mother, and she does love her with everything she has, but it would just take time to heal old wounds. And hopefully, as we get to volume 10 and so on, that both of them can fix their relationship and actually be a mother and daughter fully, and have a really awesome and great relationship with each other. Let me see. In the last, let me see. So far, I talked about her relationship between Rwby, her half sister, and then her mother, Raven. But I was also going to say the other reason why I really love Yang is that she's based off of Bruce Lee, and a lot of her fighting styles are actually pretty similar to his. Are actually the fighting styles he would do, and I just really love that about Yang because she is a really awesome fighter, especially since I took martial arts when I was in high school and stuff, and I really related to that aspect of her character as well. Because like not only how the way she fights and how the way she moves and her techniques, but like it's also she does a lot of it with style, and she's really one of the best like fighters in the show because she's a really good brawler and especially how she can absorb so much damage and then she can hit it back at her enemies with everything she has. And she's also pretty adaptable as well. Because just like in Volume 4, when she was recovering and she had a prosthetic arm, since her original right arm got cut off by Adam Blake's ex boyfriend. So basically, she was handicapped as well, and that was a really good representation for everyone who has a prosthetic limb or everyone who's handicapped because something that happened to them, especially how tough that was for Yang. Like she had to take some time to recover and heal, and also try to figure out how to live that and adapt and live that way. Now, since she lost a part of herself, and at that point, like she was lost and she was broken for a little bit, but like her father Ty, he helped her get back into fighting shape, and actually he helped her pick herself back up. And that really showed like how he's a really great like father, and he loves his daughter so much, and he did like so much for her because there's just so much like to love about like Yang. Not only everything I just mentioned, but it's also I just really love her like so much. I relate to her on so many levels, on so many things. Not only like how the way she takes care of her younger sister and everything, because I had to do that in quite a few ways. Like I had to and just step up pretty much. There's just like so many things to love about Yang. Like not only everything I listed, but when I just look at like other videos about why people love her, like they have their own reasons why they love her, and I had mine because I really do feel that she is one of the best characters like in Rwby. Because another thing, the main thing why I love her so much is like how she's adventurous, like she's exported, she has a cheerful personality, like even when things are at their worst, like she tries to pick everyone up with a smile on her face. And she like pretty much chills on everybody and say like we'll get through this no matter what. And I also love even at times when she's beaten down and broken or when she has her PTSD, it's like she still refuses to give up even if she's terrified, but she's still going to do something anyway. Like that really shows a lot that she's really resilient. Like she refuses to give up no matter what she goes through or no matter who stands in her way, she still gets back up. And I really love that about her character. It's also like when I listen to some of to her theme, I Born, like and that song alone, it says a lot about her character, how it develops her, how it tells you her personality, how it tells you so much about her in just a few lyrics. Especially when you get to the other song, Ignite. Like that's a really well done song. Like it really talks a lot about Yang there too. Like it says how she fights, how you don't want to mess with her family, how she'll go off on you if you do, and you'll regret like fighting her because she won't hold back. Especially if you're messing with her family or people she care about, like she'll fight you with everything she has. Cause let me see, Yang Xiao Long. There's just so many things as I already said why I love her so much. It's let me see. Yeah, let me see. I'm trying to see. Sorry, I'm trying to see what I have to say because I just been saying so many reasons like why I love and relate to her. Because there's just so many Because there's so many moments in the Rwby series where you could like actually see and look at that shows Yang's character and shows why she's such a great like inspiration to people too. Because that's another thing, like she's inspired me quite a bit. Because not only like her resilience to fight, her determination, like she gets back up no matter what, but also just like her heart and characteristics. Like her heart, she has a heart made of gold, basically, and like she has a blazing personality, and that just like she's just such an amazing like person to be around, and she really helps people no matter what they're going through. Like she can pretty much put a smile on everyone's faces if they're going through a really rough day, and just help them through so much. Like if they're at a really low spot in their lives, she'll just help them like chill them up. Like she's the type of person like she'll be there for them, and like even for the small stuff. And I just would have loved that about Yang's character. Because an example of that I wanted to say real fast was when she was talking to Blake in Volume 2. Like not only was she telling her about her mother waving when she was looking for her and all the mystery she had behind it and wondering why she left her, is that she was telling like, Blake she didn't have to give up on like trying to accomplish what she was trying to accomplish, but like she was saying, you shouldn't let it consume you and just let that be your only like goal in life is just that one item. So that basically showed that what Yang was telling Blake that you shouldn't just let just one thing define your whole personality or one goal define your whole like life. Like you can find other goals and ambitions and put your mind to other things as well. Like you don't have to stop doing what you're doing or stop doing what you love, but just either take a break and find things that you love to do. Okay, I was just making this podcast because I wanted to say my love of Yang Xiao Long. I know it ended up being a pretty long podcast, but I just wanted to make sure I said all my thoughts on her and why I love her so much. Oh, and also I will link some both of her songs in the description. So once I do that, once you finish the podcast here, you can just find the songs and listen to them. And I really recommend them because they're really awesome and they're really outstanding. And also, I would say if you haven't watched Rwby yet, I say you should because it's a really well done series. And the creator Monty, he really loved everything he did on it, and he really put a lot of thought and effort and care into all the characters he made. So I really feel if you haven't seen Rwby yet, I really recommend you do. And yeah, at the end of the day, I know people say a lot of bad things about Yang, or they criticize some parts of her character. Some of those could be valid opinions, but other times it just depends if they just don't like her. They just don't like her. Because I know some people don't like certain characters for certain reasons, but I feel if you're a Yang hater, I feel you should at least give her another chance or actually try to look deeper into her because there's many layers to her. And there's plenty of reasons to love her instead of hating on her. Yeah, I just hope whoever listens to this that they enjoy my content, and you all have a good day. And remember to always start your day off with a yang. And I will always love Yang Xiao Long, and she will always be my favorite character and will be. And I will still continue to make more videos and content about her. Okay, thank you all for listening. This was Blue Knight 23, and have a good day.